Easy Riders, and welcome to the Film Book Club review channel. Today we're discussing all things Brooklyn and Beyond, the new film directed by John Crowley, screenplay by Nick Hornby, and based on the novel by Colm Tóibín. It stars Saoirse Ronan, Domhnall Gleeson, Julie Walters, Jim Broadbent, Emory Cohen, and many more. The story is a tale of immigration based on the viewpoint of a young woman, so straight away this is one of the lesser cinematic tropes that we're used to, and it's very refreshing to see such a story like this. Okay, now the narrative focuses around Ailish, a young Irish woman living in County Wexford, played by Saoirse Ronan, who was given the opportunity to escape Ireland and travel across to Brooklyn, where she can make up the life that she wants to lead. She gets sponsored by her sister and former local priest who's now living over in New York, Father Flood, played by Jim Broadbent, to go over and try to make a life for herself. After a treacherous journey across the Atlantic, she arrives in New York and goes to live in Brooklyn, where she lives in a boarding house run by Mark Kehoe, who is played by Julie Walters, and she is absolutely fantastic. She is religiously hilarious, and you get some absolutely fantastic lines. The audience, where I watched it, were in stitches throughout the entire show. With every scene that she was on, she was a complete scene stealer. When she first arrives in Brooklyn, we see Ailish in her department store where she's working, and she's not very happy there. She goes out to various social events with other local boarders in the Irish community. She goes to a local dance. However, it's only when she meets Tony, played by Emory Cohen, a young Italian man, that she starts to feel truly at home in her new surroundings. As their relationship blossoms, she becomes more at home. She goes to meet his family and they go out several times. However, it's when that she receives some unfortunate news from back home that she must travel back to County Wexford, and it's when she's home she's set up with Jim, played by Domhnall Gleeson, by an old friend. This love triangle starts to take place. When she's also back at home, she is offered the job which she always wanted but never could have had the ability to actually get when she was first living at home, and then it's the real decision of staying in Ireland with Jim or going back to Brooklyn and continuing with this new life she's set up with herself with Tony. So it's the ultimate love triangle. We've not had a love triangle situation like this since Friends, when Ross had to choose between Julie and Rachel. Okay, it could have been so easy to have made Brooklyn look like nothing more than an ITV drama, but it avoids that 100%. Made for just $10 million, it looks sublime. The costumes are fantastic, and the 1952 setting just kicks everything off, so it looks absolutely perfect. The locations in the film absolutely soar. Scenes in Ireland, which we get towards the beginning of the film, and then later on when she travels home, absolutely wonderful. The landscape of it. Ireland is truly a character in this film, as well as New York. The contrast between the two locations of Ireland and New York just clash superbly, and it really helps put you in her situation of deciding which future she is going to lead for herself. I'm not a massive fan of romantic dramas, especially ones set in a period setting, but this absolutely ticked all of the boxes. I thought Saoirse Ronan was absolutely phenomenal, as are the rest of the cast. She has to be nominated for some awards for this. It's the best performance I have seen from an actress all year long. There's an absolutely wonderful scene when she first steps off the boat, when she first arrives in New York, and she's in the immigration office, and she gets stamped to go through the doors, and as she opens the door, the light is just beaming through. It's very similar to when Dorothy was leaving the house when she'd first crash landed in Oz. I was on the edge of my seat throughout every scene. This film really got me right in the feels. I didn't cry when Gandalf died, spoilers. I didn't cry when Uncle Ben died, spoilers again. Surely he's not going to get killed off in the third reboot. But anyway, I was in bits. I went to watch it by myself, and I had tears streaming. That never happens for me. And this film, and it's due completely to Saoirse Ronan's performance. It's so grounded. She can display emotion with just one simple look. The letters going from back home, so when she's going through the homesickness stage, I think it's because it's such a human emotion. So you know, when she's departing from Ireland and her family are there to wave her off on the ferry, so many hundreds of thousands of people must have been in that situation, and you really feel, and for anyone who's been away from home for a long period of time or had to depart, you just really get a sense of just how difficult this is. When she receives her letters from back home as well, it's just so tearful. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll definitely end up gripping your seat at one particular point as well, which had me feeling a bit icky inside. But I cannot recommend this film enough. I think you need to go and see it, especially on the big screen, being able to see the locations of Ireland and then of New York. Just the costumes as well. This is something I've never really been that fussed about before, but it just looks glorious. You would never have guessed this was made for just $10 million. If Saoirse Ronan isn't nominated for BAFTAs, Oscars, any other awards, then there is a serious injustice going on here. Have you seen the film? Let me know what your thoughts are. Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? What were your favourite bits? Don't forget to subscribe at the bottom, share this with your friends, and most of all, check out our podcast as well, which is on iTunes, and we'll hopefully see you soon. Thank you. Goodbye.